ficar is a very versatile verb, and it can be used in a number of ways. It can mean to stay, to become, to look, or to be. And it's an essential verb to learn. Now, the verb ficar is phonetically regular. This means that when we change the verb, it will change in the way sometimes that we write it, but not necessarily in the way that we say it. But the present tense is regular. So, ficar, eu fico, tu ficas, ele fica, nós ficamos, eles ficam. Let's go through this again. Eu fico, tu ficas. I'll highlight them as we go. Ele fica, nós ficamos, eles ficam. Now here I've just put it as to stay because it's easier just to give one translation rather than all of them. So let's see. In a sentence. Eu fico aqui e tu ficas aí. I stay here and you stay there. So here we're using it in the sense of to stay. And we're saying eu fico because we're using the I form of the verb. Eu fico. I stay. E tu ficas is using the tu form of the verb. Ela fica num hotel. She stays, or she is staying, in a hotel. We often use this verb in ways where it's not going to translate literally. So, to be. It can also translate as to be, especially when we're talking about the whereabouts of a building or a house or a shop. We can use ficar to ask where something is. So, for example, o banco fica na avenida. A minha casa fica no fundo da rua. So, what we have here is a different way of using the verb ficar. So, instead of translating as stay, it's kind of translating as is. We could kind of justify this by saying the bank stays on the avenue, because it does. It's not going to go anywhere. Maybe. We hope not anyway. Not going to close down and take all our money. So, o banco fica na avenida. A minha casa fica no fundo da rua. Now, it can also mean to become. This is where it gets interesting because it's used like this a lot. I'm just going to flip over to the page and see how things are going here. Yeah, so I see that's still going on. I would like to be able to get comments going here, but I'm not sure how I can do that because I didn't choose it straight away. Hola, it's Martin here. Okay, hi Martin. Hi, how are you? So I don't know how many, you've got 4 viewers, all 4 of you. Thank you very much. I can see it's all working now, thank you. Okay, so back to the lesson. So to become or to get. So this is normally talking about a transformation of some kind. So, for example, if we eat something, we can get sick from eating it. We can become sick, yeah? So, ela fica doente quando come chocolates. Sorry, ele. Need new glasses. Ele fica doente quando come chocolates. He gets sick when he eats chocolates. So it's this one up here we're looking at, in case there was any confusion. So here we're not saying he is sick when he eats chocolates. We're saying he becomes sick. He gets sick, as we would say in English. Next one. Fico triste quando chove. Fico triste quando chove. I get sad when it rains. Or I become sad. So this transformation works like this. Before it's raining, I'm not sad. When it rains, I become sad. So we use this verb to state that something has changed. Next one. Ficamos cansados se andamos muito. We get tired if we walk a lot. So again, it's talking about not being tired and then becoming tired after a certain exercise or activity. So then we've got here, and I explain it in more detail here. So, ela ficou contente quando recebeu a prenda. She became happy when she received the present. So we're talking about receiving a present here. We often use this in the past. So when we're talking about a reaction caused by something that happened in the past, we'll use this verb in the past. Ficou. Ela ficou contente quando recebeu a prenda. So she became happy when she received the present. In English, we would just say she was happy when she received the present. But in the Portuguese way, it's showing that there was a definite transformation from just being to becoming. Are you following this? If I'm going too fast, just let me know and I will. Hi, Gillian. Any questions you have, let me know, okay? So I will go back to the... It's great this actually, because I can see without you seeing what I'm seeing. So you're not seeing me looking at your comments. I hope anyway. So let's get back to that. So far, let's take a look at what we've seen. We're looking at the verb ficar, which means to stay. And we're learning that that's not the only thing that this verb means. We've conjugated the verb already. In other words, we've changed it to be used with each different person. I, you, he, she, etc. So let's go through it again. Eu fico. Repeat after me. Eu fico. Tu ficas. Ele fica. Nós ficamos. Eles ficam. Good. So then we showed that it can basically mean to stay. I stay here, you stay there. Eu fico aqui. Tu ficas aí. Ela fica num hotel. She stays or she is staying in a hotel. So often it won't translate literally, to be. It can also mean to be in the sense of the whereabouts of buildings, shops, anything else that we're looking for, places, towns. O banco fica na avenida. The bank is on the avenue. A minha casa fica no fundo da rua. My house is at the end of the road or the bottom of the road. Can also mean to become. It shows when the transformation has taken place. Ela fica doente quando come chocolates. Ela, I said Ella again. I can't read my own writing. Ele fica doente quando come chocolates. He gets sick when he eats chocolates. Fico triste quando chove. I get sad when it rains. Ficamos cansados se andamos muito. We get tired if we walk a lot. And finally, ela ficou contente quando recebeu a prenda. She became happy when she received the present. good. So are you all following up to now? I see there's a few more comments there. Thank you, Martin. I try to explain well. So let's get back again. I can see there are 5 of you there, only few are commenting. So I'm either doing it very well or you just don't have questions. Okay, to belong. So it's also when you say, like, in English, you might say to somebody, oh, where does this key go? Yeah. Or where does this box go? Which, when you think about it, is a very strange thing to say. I suppose when foreign people are learning English, that must sound quite strange. Where does this box go? It doesn't go anywhere unless you put it somewhere on its own, you know. So when we want to say something similar in Portuguese, we will use the verb ficar. So a chave fica na porta. So the key belongs in the door, or it stays in the door. It's kind of the same thing. So there's kind of a crossover there between the two, like stays and belongs. Estes livros ficam naquela estante. These books belong on that bookshelf. Now here, yeah, we can see that in English we would say belong or go. These books go on that bookshelf. These books belong on that bookshelf. So you can see that this verb covers a lot of different kinds of conversation. It's almost like we can do away with all of the verbs and just use this one. No, we can't. Anyway, to look good or bad. So again, another expression here. So this is very idiomatic. And what idiomatic means is when you translate something literally, it's not going to make much sense. So let me just check on you guys, see if I'm making much sense. Hi, Jill, how are you? Yes, I was having trouble setting up this. I had some problems with my computer beforehand, but here we are, ready to go. Nice to see you, Jill. So let's get back to the details. So to look good or bad. Esse vestido fica-te bem. Okay. Esse vestido fica-te bem. That dress suits you or stays you well. I like to translate it as stays you well because I think it's quite funny. So that dress suits you. Essa blusa fica-lhe bem. That blouse suits you. Formal. Now this is the formal, so this would be the você form. Now there's a kind of debate whether você is formal or whether it's informal, and whether ficar, whether tu is informal or familiar. So I have actually read that it's familiar with an R, and that the você is actually informal. But it depends what you read and who you listen to. So don't listen to me, look up for yourself. A cozinha fica muito bem assim. So the kitchen looks really good like this. A cozinha fica muito bem assim. Esta planta não fica bem aqui. Esta planta não fica bem aqui. This plant doesn't look good here. So here we are really talking about something that is looking good, something that stays well. But this is what we use. So imagine that you've just decorated your kitchen and then somebody comes in and they say, a cozinha fica muito bem assim. The kitchen looks really good like this. And then we've got turn out well. Okay. O quadro ficou bem. O quadro ficou bem. The painting turned out well. So again, we've got a different use for this verb, which I find that verbs like this are excellent to learn, because there are so many different ways you're going to use them. And not only that, but you're going to hear this verb so many times and you might not understand the context. So by learning this, you're learning the context that you're actually going to hear and see this verb in. So, o quadro ficou bem. The painting turned out well. Apparently the soup didn't turn out as well. So, a sopa não ficou muito bem. Não pus sal. So the soup didn't turn out well. I didn't put any salt in it. I've done that a few times. Let's see if you've got any questions. It's getting a bit chilly. I'm not speaking English. Oh, sorry. So, qual é a sua língua? So we have somebody here that doesn't speak English. So I'll have to find out what their native tongue is. Not that I'm going to learn their native tongue by next week, but I might try. Sorry, I didn't put a question mark on that. 4 viewers, 7 comments. So next, no, not that one. So to turn out well, o quadro ficou bem. The painting turned out well. A sopa não ficou muito bem. Não pus sal. I didn't put any salt. So that is basically the verb ficar and all the different uses we can have for it. So it doesn't just mean to stay. It's not quite that simple. There are a few verbs that will sometimes have these different ways of changing. Well, not changing, but they will have these different uses and they will be used in different expressions.